What do you have to put up with because you're so is ridiculously good looking? Every time I introduce my husband to new friends or co-workers, they act super surprised. Like, how did I, bag of dongs, manage to get him, Grecian god? My wife and I will go out to eat, just the two of us, in a romantic setting, and servers will ask us if we want separate checks. Has happened a lot, even on our anniversary. There have even been a few times where it's her and I, out to eat with another pair of friends who are not together. They get one check, we get two. I rarely even notice her getting hit on right in front of me anymore. Some idiot teenage girl pinched his butt while we were out, while I was standing next to him, visibly pregnant, while our older child was nearby. My so is extremely good looking, while I am average. We have a 4-week-old daughter together who he likes to carry in her sling when we go out. Women go crazy over him. If he takes her out on his own, it takes him hours to do anything because of all the attention. I find it quite flattering, however. It's nice knowing other women find him attractive. Though I probably wouldn't feel the same if I didn't trust him completely. I wouldn't say he doesn't enjoy the attention though. Seriously, I have never been hit on more than when I am out with one of my kids. I'm 35 and just north of average on a good day, but when I go to the park with just me and my 2-year-old son, I get eye-banged by so many hot 28-year-olds it is almost uncomfortable. My wife is smoking. I don't have to put up with anything except for the knowledge that if I don't keep her at all costs, the next dude is gonna be better in every way possible and my kid is gonna love him more than me. God, I hope she doesn't divorce me. On the bright side, she won't live long since smoking causes cancer. My wife is a solid 10. She doesn't even notice guys looking at her anymore. Luckily she also suffers from resting B face, so we don't get bothered. RBF. I used to hate it, now I embrace it. I was walking with her and some guy started shouting about how I'm a lucky man. We ignored him and kept going. Later, I turned to her and said, "He's not wrong. This guy freaks." Occasional cat calls, and last night, our waiter actually put his hand on her shoulder with subtle affection. That one bothered me a bit. My GF is in her early 20s, Venezuelan, smoking hot bod with a really nice bubble butt. I have lost count of the amount of guys I have caught taking pictures of her butt. Once at the gym, I swear this dude was literally recording her while she was on the butt blaster machine. I wasn't 100% sure, but either way I gave him a death stare as I walked towards my GF and he acted so nervous it pretty much confirmed what he was up to. Bothers the heck out of me. Go to report that crap to the staff, dude. That's balls, whether it's to have a video of a smoking hottie or a larger person, obviously trying to better themselves at a gym, to make fun of later. Frick those people to death. By Mr. Slave. Constant advances from other guys at bars, clubs. I leave for 2 minutes and there's some guy hitting on my wife when I get back. Every time. My BF has slender hips, a nice butt, and flowing, long, black hair. We were walking down the street when someone catcalled and Wolf whistled at us. He turned around so they could see his bearded face. He struck a pose and said "Hey sexy" in his deepest man voice. The look on the douche bro's face was glorious. His room is a death trap. His bathroom is a disaster. He's always getting hit on by hot girls. But that body is stupid. I can relate. When I started dating my soon-to-be ex-husband, I saw his house. It literally looked like someone emptied a dump truck full of dirty laundry and cardboard boxes into his room. The butt helped make up for it. Not anymore, but I dated a ridiculously hot guy. Asian Spanish mix. Literally had a flawless body, fantastic hair, gorgeous eyes and killer smile. Girls checking him out constantly, whether we were holding hands or I was sitting on his lap. Worst part, he was super aware of this and was cocky, a total flirt and overall the human version of public property, like a park bench. Getting butt for days. Great eye candy though. This doesn't quite fit, but I have super attractive brother. This is all the more confusing to me because I can't see it. He looks just like a random person to me, but it is insane how girls act around him. I've never seen anything like it. I could see how that would get annoying really quick. Once we were at a wedding at the female minister. Minister was hitting on him so hard we almost literally had to leave to get away from her. Actually, we did leave, but she got in the car with us because she needed a ride back to the hotel. I still have a video with us and this drunk woman of the cloth hitting on my brother in my minivan somewhere. I went with him to a doctor's appointment because I have a medical background and he doesn't, and the doctor couldn't seem to concentrate for hitting on him. Don't I know you? Do you ever go up to so and so? I think she forgot to tell him half his stuff because she was so enamored. I had to be like, is there a diagnosis? Needless to say I am completely invisible during these interactions, but they don't know that I'm his sister, so I'm sure they'd still do it if I were his. So, if I was married to someone like this, I couldn't stand it. These are just the more surprising examples, but it is like this everywhere you go with him. There is rarely just a normal grocery store interaction. Once we were at a wedding at the female minister. Minister was hitting on him so hard. I thought the minister was hitting on your brother at his own wedding at first. Girlfriend has over a million IG followers. Have to live with hundreds of dudes hitting her up via DM daily. I'll hit you up if you want, bro. I get a lot of "that's your husband" remarks. I'm a huge prankster and we got married after a couple months of dating. It was unexpected for a lot of family, so some of them honestly thought I was punking them, to the extent of them thinking that I had a hot friend just pose for fake wedding pictures. I mean, I'm not an ugly scrub or anything, but he's a hot former military guy. Self high five. Self high five. That's called clapping. When I introduced my mom and sister to my boyfriend, their mouths both dropped. Then they both tried talking over each other in high voices I've never heard. They were both like, awkwardly competing for him. It was so funny to me. Afterward my mom apologized and said she didn't know what got into me. He is just so handsome it made me act like a fool. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't embarrass you, honey. Now they stare, drool and flirt with him at every function. He adores them, and women check him out all the time when we are out. Even other, gay and straight, men. He's gorgeous, and he has no clue. They'll position themselves to check out his backside too. If they only knew he was more beautiful inside, and I've never caught him checking out anyone else, only me. Look all you want, people. I get it. I love this. Good for you. 3. My wife is 50, East Indian. Looks like she's a 35-year-old smoking hot Italian or maybe Spanish or Mexican. I'm a 43-year-old fat white dude. We were walking down the street in the market at night and some young drunk black dude sitting on the corner started literally freaking out, hollering across the market, "Yo, yo, yo, your wife. She got it going on, man. She got it going on." I was actually highly amused. She's had her butt grabbed a few times, or had strangers tell her she has nice tea. Not so amused. She was some kinda Spanish. If we're in public and I'll leave her alone for more than a few minutes, I nearly always come back to find some guy, sometimes girl, making conversation and buying her a drink. When she walks into rooms full of people, I love to hang back a bit, just to see people's expressions when they gawk at her. She's the nicest, most gracious, genuine person I've ever met, but you can tell which women are insecure because they instantly decide my girl is the enemy and get ultra competitive, like a female alpha thing. Putting a huge diamond on her finger hasn't scared any of these people off. Thankfully she and I are 100% on the same page and comfortable with the attention. I definitely outkicked my coverage. Arguing with her about that fact. She is a type, small with curly hair, and reckons she doesn't get hit on or that women over 30 shouldn't leave the house without makeup. I think she's the most beautiful human I've ever met. Straight out of the shower, just before bed, when she wakes up. So it's just this fun little game now where I tell her she's beautiful every time I see her. I know you don't believe me. My opinion on these things probably doesn't count for much, but my answer: he gets hit on at work regularly. I just don't care anymore. I can't say I blame them for trying. Asked him if he had an answer. This was what he said: regular comments on how I must be funny, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Yesterday some guy smacked her butt just out of nowhere, left a bruise across the whole thing. She tried to knee him down in the coin purse but couldn't, so she settled for hitting him with her bag. Swear to God if I had been there that guy wouldn't have gotten off nearly that easy. My fiancée GF gets told she looks like Kristen Bell. It's not 100% accurate but I can see it. What I have to deal with is that she disbelieves it so much that she adamantly believes she isn't beautiful. Long story short, doesn't matter how pretty your so is, they don't believe it, and that's the most annoying thing to deal with. Finally someone who gets it. Hard to enjoy being with someone beautiful when they spend all their energy thinking the opposite. My wife has the most stunning curly red hair you've ever seen. It never fails almost every time we go out in public. Someone stops her and comments on her hair. Sometimes it's just that comment, and sometimes people want to stand there and talk to her about what she does to treat it. I just have to sit there and wait while we have a conversation about hair that I have no knowledge in. My husband used to be a pretty boy. Girls would constantly flirt. People would stop and tell him how good looking he is in the mall. Even happened in traffic. My fiancé is 44 and has that handsome, fit older man thing going for him. I had a friend describe him as the kind of man 20-year-old women want to call daddy right after we started dating, and it's pretty accurate. So accurate that that's what happens. We've gone out and had younger women aggressively hit on him using crap like "you look like my friend's dad." I always wanted to frick him, and basically admitting bluntly that they want to frick an older man to see what it's like and they want him to be that older man. I find it pretty amusing when it happens, mostly because he hates it. Like if you're going to hit on him, pointing out his age is the worst way to do it, not necessarily because he's self-conscious or anything, but he feels awkward about that being a turn on. I've also had a drink thrown at me because some drunk 21-year-old called dibs and I had the audacity to kiss him in public when I'm too ugly for him. We're pretty evenly matched look-wise in my opinion, but I'm 30, so I guess that's too old to be attractive. I've also had a drink thrown at me because some drunk 21-year-old called dibs and I had the audacity to kiss him in public when I'm too ugly for him. What the fuck? I'm not ugly, but I put a lot of effort into my appearance. I love makeup. My boyfriend also puts effort into how he looks. He loves fashion. Generally we look well matched, but if I'm having a lazy day and don't do my makeup or hair and just wear leggings, I feel like I'm a walking garbage can, even though he's just wearing joggers and a sweatshirt because it's just easier for him to look put together. This is exactly how I feel with my boyfriend. Too dang many people hitting on them at work. Middle-aged ladies getting hot and bothered to high school girls sneaking pictures of him because of how cute they think he is. Meanwhile I'm literally right there like, excuse me, this is mine. Girlfriend and I spent some time apart. We broke up and then got back together after 7 months. She has this friend, who is a lesbian, that has a serious crush on her. Her friend hates me, obviously, and has done everything she can to try and break us up again. She's spread rumors that I'm secretly abusive and harmful, even though none of the things she says about me are true. She acts all pervy and weird with my girlfriend. She's totally oblivious about the whole thing. This friend of hers gets sick seeing me and my girlfriend together, and TBH I love it. Thing is, my girlfriend doesn't know about the rumors or the crush. She just continues to be this girl's friend. I'm not worried. My girlfriend is straight, but still, the rumors do have an effect. People have come up to my girlfriend legitimately asking her if she was okay and needing somebody to talk to, and she has no clue why. When I was younger, I had a few hot girlfriends, including my now wife, and dudes would buy them drinks without asking if they were single. My girlfriend would feel guilty and give me the free drinks. Also, they were mean. It was the best thing that ever happened to me. At a bar, I laughed hard whenever they did it. A few dudes were noticeably pee, but I'm a big dude and was never hassled. He's gorgeous, charismatic and very successful. He has scores of women at any social gathering that would willingly suck his dong at the drop of a hat. I have an autoimmune disease that has me in chronic pain, and some days I know I'm not my 100% best. Honestly, I'd be the most insecure person ever, but he makes dang sure everyone knows I'm his girlfriend and speaks so highly of me even when I'm not there. I am very lucky to have him in my life. Lucky. She's terrified of me cheating on her because of what has happened to her in the past. We've built up plenty of trust to work past that, and now she asks me where her money is, insinuating that she's my pimp daddy. People ask really when they see a picture of us together. One time all my co-workers wanted to go to Disneyland together but were taking their SOS. I didn't want to go because I'm cheap, so the only single girl grabbed my arm and said, well, me and Phoenix will go together. I asked why I couldn't go with my boyfriend, and first no one believed me that I had a boyfriend, and then when I showed them they were amazed and demanded to see more pictures because they still didn't believe me. I kinda stopped talking to them after that. When he and I first started dating, I had a girl get mad and completely stop talking to me because she wanted to date him. So probably that. She never shuts drawers, closets or cabinets, which she knows I hate. That being said, she's way more beautiful than I deserve, and I'm playing up about 2 leagues so I can handle some open sock drawers if I still get to be seen with her in public. Honestly, my husband and I get equal treatment. Not because I'm a douche and saying we are both super hot. We just happen to fit a specific type which appeals to different people, with it not being niche that it happens occasionally. He's 6'4", 200 pounds and a total daddy type. Rugged, kept beard with short hair on top. I'm 5'8", 130 pounds and don't look anywhere near my age. So, twink gets thrown around. Also, the moment I speak people light up. British accent in America, it's gold. LOL. Took me into my 30s to discover my type. All it took was a beard and an extra 20 pounds of muscle, and 2 years of counseling, and some hot women having sex with me to boost confidence. This was an ex, but he would get hit on all the time in my presence, by everyone. The worst was a 14-year-old girl. He was around 40 at the time. On the flip side of this, while I am far from ridiculously good looking, a number of people find me to be more than adequate, but I have a tendency to date down, according to many, which I think is kind of a fricked up thing to say, and 1. Crushing self-esteem issues, and self-deprecating comments like I don't know why you go out with me despite the fact that I'm an unemployed, irresponsible human being dating people who are usually funny, kind, and caring. 2. I can't complain about something I don't like about myself without being treated like an ungrateful bee, and having the situation turn into a low self-esteem Olympics of sorts. P.S. I'm a straight male, for context, but if you saw how I dressed you would raise an eyebrow at the straight part. With my ex for a long time it was frustration cause she was asexual. Most beautiful woman I've ever known, but getting to only kiss her once a week got annoying. He always, and I mean always, roll over me when we are sleeping. Like literally roll over me, and this repeat until I push him over. Thank God he is the sweetest and hottest person I ever know. Oh yeah, he is on Reddit and lurks. I think he gonna found my account. I would say he's a bit more closer to decently handsome, but jealously for when other girls start flirting with him. He usually tells me about it, usually because he's pretty gleeful on how he turned them down. Some high school girls flirting with him while he's trying to work, or even being stopped at the store. The latest incident is of a girl stopping him, saying, "Hey, my BF has a shirt just like that, and he's all cool, where's your boyfriend?" she says, right in front of me. He responded with, "Well, this is awkward, I'm breaking up with you," and walked away. Which, funny, but also I get jealous. Like literally a week after I started dating my GF, we were browsing through the Chive and she clicked a thread of beautiful people or something like that. One of her old Facebook profile pictures was in there. She has no idea how it got uploaded. A Google image search of some of her other profile pictures revealed that pictures of her regularly circulate South American forums with thread titles that translate into things like beautiful girls, sexy ladies, and even something as odd as the most amazing ladies with dimples. I still tease her 2 years later about how she's a Chive model with the most beautiful dimples I've ever seen. But it is pretty weird that somewhere along the line, somebody from South America either was randomly browsing through and saving her profile pictures, or somebody she knew uploaded a picture to the Chive and then it spiraled out of control from there. Her full Persian father. It's not that he's Persian, it's the culture differences. Things are handled so different and radical, lol. Constantly getting the "you are her boyfriend" look. It doesn't help that we're poly, so she has Enso and me, and because of this guys will legit say, "Oh well, it's okay to sleep with me, your boyfriends are into that, right?" And because she's a dominant mistress, The let me throw myself at your feet, ignoring all the rigid rules and parts of the BDSM subculture that inconvenience me because you're hot. Oh, and she's Asian. So, weebs. So many weebs. My wife literally thinks she's like a 2-stroke 10 for some reason and I can't convince her otherwise. So I deal with occasional waiters and clerks full on flirting with her and she just thinks they're friendly because she doesn't believe anyone would flirt with her like that. It drives me crazy. On our honeymoon we went to Hawaii. Took an evening boat ride around the island to see some hidden harbor where they filmed one of the scenes of one of the Pirates movies and she got seasick on the way back. One of the guys serving on the boat kept trying to sit with her and talk to her and even brought her a glass of water and I reached for it while saying thanks man. Since I was standing in front of my wife and there really wasn't any room where we were, and he moved it out of my reach and squirmed past me to be the one to give it to her. I laughed at that one. People not realizing I'm his wife even when he is holding my hand or has his arm around me. We'll be out at dinner just the two of us. Our wedding ring's shiny, and the waitress will ask if we want separate checks. He is very good looking. I'm funny so I know that's how I got a man like that, but he is a 10-stroke 10 and I'm a solid 5-stroke 10 if I wear makeup. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.